Welcome, chosen soul. If you are watching this, it's because the life you used to know is falling apart, and you've been left standing in a room full of silence. You feel the weight of isolation pressing against your chest, and you're asking God, why? But what you don't realize is that you aren't being punished, you are being prepared. You are praying for the harvest of a king, but you are still carrying the DNA of a slave. Listen to me very carefully. God will never put a kingdom fortune into a peasant mindset. It would rot, it would destroy you. The reason you have been forced into this agonizing, suffocating isolation is because you are currently on the operating table of the divine. The great architect is reaching into your subconscious to rip out the software of struggle that your bloodline, your school, and your broke friends installed in you from the moment you took your first breath. Most people think success is about hustle and grinding. It is not. Success is a matter of frequency. If your frequency is set to survival, you could win $10 million today and be back in debt by next year. Your mind is currently infected with spiritual viruses that make you feel safe, in poverty, and terrified of power. Today, I am going to reveal the 10 dark secrets of the divine rewiring. We are going to go into the shadows of your psyche to delete the code of lack, the addiction to fear, and the lie of smallness. If you do not undergo this surgery, you will spend your entire life working like a slave for crumbs that were never meant for you. The king is ready to upgrade your system. Are you brave enough to let the old, broken version of yourself die so the monarch can be born? Chapter 1. The Not Enough Virus, Deleting the Scarcity Code. Most of you are infected with a spiritual pathogen, and you have become so used to the symptoms that you think they are normal. Since the day you were born, the world has been whispering a predatory lie into your ear. There is not enough to go around. You saw it in the way your parents' voices shook when they talked about the mortgage. You felt it in the shame you experienced when you wanted something expensive. You see it every day in the news, in the economy, and in the eyes of the people on the street. This is the not enough virus. It is a subconscious program that convinces you that life is a zero-sum game, that if you win, someone else must lose, and if you have much, someone else must starve. This virus is designed to keep you small, keep you playing safe, and keep you invisible so that you never challenge the status quo. It makes you apologize for your ambition. The divine rewiring starts by violently deleting this concept of scarcity from your spiritual hard drive. Look at the Creator's work. He didn't make just enough stars to light the night. He made billions of galaxies. He didn't make sufficient water. He covered the planet in vast, deep oceans. He is a God of infinitude. When you see a private jet or a masterpiece of architecture, your virus triggers a thought. That's for them, not for me. The architect is currently rewriting that line too. That is a mirror of my inheritance. You must realize that your lack isn't a financial problem, it is a vision defect. God is isolating you to show you that the only limit on your supply is the size of the cup you are holding. He is stretching your cup until it shatters, so he can replace it with an ocean. You are being rewired to realize that in the kingdom, there is no pie to share, there is an infinite bakery. And you own the keys. Chapter 2. The Addiction to Struggle, Killing the Underdog Hero. There is a dark, seductive comfort in being the underdog. Many chosen souls have unknowingly developed a deep, chemical addiction to struggle. You have been the one who survives for so long that you literally do not know who you are without a crisis to fight, a bill to worry about, or an enemy to defeat. You have worn your struggle like a badge of honor, telling the story of how hard you've had it to anyone who would listen. But here is the cold truth. The ego loves the struggle because it makes the ego feel heroic. But the spirit hates the struggle because it was made for dominion. You subconsciously sabotage your own peace because when things are too good, or too easy, your nervous system begins to scream. You feel unsafe. You start waiting for the other shoe to drop. You think God is honored by your suffering or that there is holiness in your exhaustion. There is not. God is not honored by your burnout. He is honored by your flow. The rewiring requires you to stop identifying with your pain and start identifying with your power. God is forcing you into a season of absolute stillness to see if you can handle ease. Can you handle a life where opportunities seek you out? Can you handle a reality where money flows to you without blood, sweat, and tears? The architect is ripping out your hustle gears, which are powered by fear, and replacing them with alignment gears, which are powered by faith. You are being trained to operate from a place of internal rest. If you cannot master the rest, you will never be trusted with the empire. God is killing the survivor in you so that the ruler can take the lead. Chapter 3. The Guilt of the Throne, the Anchor of Loyalty. Why do you feel a secret pang of bad when you imagine yourself as the wealthiest person in your bloodline? Why does the idea of moving to an elite neighborhood feel like a betrayal of your roots? This is the guilt of the throne. It is an invisible, psychological tether that binds you to the floor of your past. Your subconscious is terrified of leaving people behind. You feel an immense, unspoken pressure to stay at the same level as your family and childhood friends so that they don't feel uncomfortable or judged by your light. This is not loyalty. This is spiritual suicide. God is isolating you right now to snap that tether. You cannot pull your family out of the mud if you are drowning in the same hole with them. To save the ship, someone has to be brave enough to get to the dry land first. The divine rewiring involves a brutal realization. Your elevation will require an alienation. You must become unrelatable to your past in order to become essential to your future. The guilt you feel is simply the slave system trying to pull its property back into the cage. It uses the faces of the people you love to make you feel like a traitor for wanting more. But God is telling you, I didn't call you to be a martyr for their comfort. I called you to be a monarch for their liberation. You are being prepared to handle millions of dollars and thousands of lives. You cannot do that if you are still asking for permission from people who have never seen a vision larger than their next paycheck. You are being rewired to realize that your highest service to those you love is to become so powerful that their not enough is swallowed up by your overflow. Chapter 4. The Language of the Elite, Deleting the Slave Tongue. Most people believe that language is merely a tool for communication. But for the chosen, language is a tool for construction. You have been infected with the slave tongue, a vocabulary rooted in hope, wishing, and trying. You say things like, I hope it works out, I'm trying my best, or, if it's meant to be, it will happen. While these phrases sound humble, they are actually death sentences for your ambition. They signal to the universe that you are a passive observer of your own life, a victim of luck or fate. The divine rewiring requires you to delete these low-frequency words and replace them with the language of the elite. Kings do not hope, they decree. Monarchs do not try, they execute. In the spiritual realm, your words are the steering wheel of your reality. When you say you are trying, you are giving yourself a psychological exit ramp for failure. You are telling your subconscious that not doing it is an acceptable outcome. God is isolating you right now to silence the peasant chatter around you so you can learn the dialect of the throne. He is training you to speak in the present tense, even when the physical world looks empty. Instead of, I will be wealthy, you must learn to say, I am wealth. Instead of, I hope to find a way, you say, the way is already prepared. This is not positive thinking, it is spiritual authority. You are being rewired to realize that your tongue is a rudder. If you keep speaking like a slave, you will never reach the land of the free. God is muting your social life so you can practice the declarations that will eventually command the resources of the earth. Stop wishing and start establishing. Chapter 5. The Mirror of Magnitude, Dissolving the Self-Image of the Survivor. You have spent your entire life looking in the mirror and seeing a survivor. You see the person who made it through the trauma, the person who paid the bills just in time, and the person who got by. While you are proud of that person, that image is now your greatest ceiling. A survivor is someone who is always reacting to a threat. A monarch is someone who is proactive in their power. The divine rewiring involves the violent dissolution of your old self-image. God is pulling you away from the crowd because as long as you are surrounded by people who see you as the old you, you will feel a subconscious pressure to remain that person. You are being forced into isolation to confront the mirror of magnitude. God wants you to look at your reflection until you stop seeing the scars and start seeing the scepter. You have a small-scale self-image that is terrified of large-scale responsibility. You are comfortable with thousands, but you are intimidated by millions. You are comfortable leading a few, but you are terrified of leading a movement. The rewiring is about stretching your internal self-concept until it matches the magnitude of your calling. You must learn to sit in the silence and feel the weight of your future crown without shrinking. God is stripping away the labels that people gave you, the shy one, the broke one, the one with the temper, and replacing them with the only label that matters, the appointed. If you don't see yourself as an emperor in the secret place, the world will never treat you like one in the public place. The isolation is your fitting room. God is making sure the internal garment fits before he reveals you to the world. Chapter 6. The deletion of soon, the trap of the infinite delay. The word soon is one of the most effective weapons the enemy uses to keep chosen souls in a state of perpetual paralysis. You've been saying, I'm going to start soon. The blessing is coming soon. Or, I'll be ready soon. This word creates a psychological illusion of progress while keeping the reality of your power in a permanent future that never arrives. Soon is a ghost. It has no date, no time, and no urgency. It allows you to feel good about your intentions while you remain stagnant in your actions. The divine rewiring is deleting the concept of soon and replacing it with the power of now. In the kingdom of God, everything is in the I am frequency, the present tense. God did not tell Moses, I will be who I will be. He said, I am. When you push your destiny into the soon, you are effectively pushing God out of the present moment. You are waiting for the right time, but God is waiting for the right you. The isolation is designed to force you to realize that there is no magical future date where you will suddenly feel ready. You are being rewired to understand that the resources, the wisdom, and the authority you need are already within you, waiting for the command to be activated. God has stopped the clock on your social life to show you that you have been wasting time waiting for a permission slip that he already signed the day you were born. The delay is over. The soon is dead. You are being rewired to operate in the urgency of the divine. If you don't do it now, you are essentially saying that your comfort is more important than your calling. Chapter 7. The Wealth Frequency Audit, Tuning to the Gold Standard. Most of you are trying to attract wealth while operating on a scavenger frequency. You are looking for discounts, worrying about the price of gas, and feeling a pinch in your chest every time you have to pay a bill. This is not just a financial state, it is a spiritual broadcast. You are signaling to the universe that resources are finite and that you are in a state of survival. The divine rewiring involves a ruthless wealth frequency audit. God is isolating you to cut off the broke vibration of your environment so he can tune your spirit to the gold standard of the kingdom. Money is not paper and ink, it is energy. If you are intimidated by money, it will never stay in your hands. If you treat it like a god, it will enslave you. If you treat it like a tool, it will serve you. The rewiring is about shifting from working for money to commanding value. God is stripping away your small-scale dependencies to show you that he is the source, and the world is merely the delivery boy. You are being trained to look at $1 million and feel the same emotional neutrality as if you were looking at $100. In this isolation, you must audit every thought you have about abundance. When you feel that anxiety rise, you must realize it is a virus trying to reconnect to the old server of lack. You are being rewired to realize that wealth is your natural state, and poverty is a foreign infection. You don't get rich, you unblock the flow that was already assigned to your name. God is muting the world so you can hear the frequency of more than enough. Once you lock into this vibration, the resources will find you with the same precision that a compass finds the north. Chapter 8. The Master of Time, Deleting the Concept of late. The world has taught you to be a slave to the clock. You feel behind in life. You feel like you've wasted years. You are racing against a biological or social deadline that doesn't exist in the eyes of the Creator. This time anxiety is a chain that keeps you in a state of frantic, low-level hustle. The divine rewiring is about becoming the master of time. God is pulling you into the secret place, where time works differently. He is teaching you that 1 year of divine alignment can produce more than 50 years of human grinding. You are being rewired to understand the difference between Chronos, clock time, and Kairos, God's appointed time. When you are in Kairos, God can compress decades of progress into a single moment. He can take the wasted years and restore them with one connection, one idea, or one door opening. The isolation is God's way of stopping your frantic running, so He can reset your internal clock. He is deleting the fear of being late because, in His kingdom, the first shall be last and the last shall be first. You are being trained to operate from timelessness. When you stop rushing, you stop making fear-based mistakes. You stop settling for good because you were afraid great would take too long. God is stripping away the distractions to show you that you have all the time in the world when you are walking with the one who created it. You are being rewired to realize that you aren't behind, you are underground, growing the roots that will support the massive structure of your future. Master the silence, and you will master the clock. Chapter 9. The Shadow of Power, Embracing the Ruthless Truth. This is the chapter most people are too afraid to talk about. To rule, you must be capable of being ruthless with your boundaries. As a chosen soul, you've been taught that being Christ-like means being a doormat or being nice to everyone. This is a lie designed to keep you weak. The Lion of Judah is not a kitten. The divine rewiring involves confronting the shadow of power. God is isolating you because He needs to see if you have the spiritual teeth to protect the empire He is giving you. You cannot manage a kingdom if you are still afraid of hurting people's feelings by saying no. You cannot protect your vision if you are still trying to be liked by everyone. The rewiring is about developing a holy severity. It is the ability to cut off anyone or anything that threatens the mission without guilt, without explanation, and without looking back. God is making you cold to the opinions of man so you can be hot for the instructions of the Spirit. The isolation is a war room where you are learning that power requires a certain level of detachment. You are being rewired to realize that you are not here to be a social worker for everyone's ego. You are here to be an executioner of the divine will. This doesn't mean you lack love. It means you have a love so great for the mission that you refuse to let mediocre emotions sabotage it. God is stripping away your need to be understood and replacing it with the command to be obeyed. If you cannot handle the shadow of your own authority, the light of the throne will consume you. You are being trained to be a king who knows when to extend the scepter and when to draw the sword. Chapter 10. The King's Inauguration, the Birth of the Unbeatable. The surgery is over. The peasant DNA has been extracted. The Scarcity Virus has been deleted. And the slave tongue has been silenced. You have endured the isolation, the silence, and the violent internal restructuring. Now comes the final stage of the divine rewiring, the inauguration. This is the moment where the new you, the version of you that is immune to fear and anchored in authority, is officially commissioned into the physical world. This is not just a change in mindset, it is a total metamorphosis. You are stepping out of this isolation no longer as a survivor, but as a sovereign. The world will try to treat you like the old you, but they will quickly realize that the old version of you is dead. There is a new frequency radiating from your spirit, a quiet, unshakable confidence that doesn't need to shout to be heard. You no longer seek opportunities, you command them. You no longer ask for permission, you grant it. The rewiring has made you a black hole for lack and a magnet for abundance. This inauguration is the moment you realize that the wilderness was never meant to break you, it was meant to make you. You have been upgraded to handle the weight of the gold, the responsibility of the power, and the heat of the spotlight. You are now a high frequency, being capable of sustaining a high-level life. The architect has finished his work. The system is live. The king is back on the throne. And this time, the crown will never slip. You have become the unbeatable. The operation is successful. The old software is gone. You are no longer a victim of your circumstances. You are the architect of your destiny. You came into this video looking for answers. And you are leaving with a new spirit. The world will not recognize the person who walks out of this room today. They will see the power. They will see the wealth. And they will see the peace, but they will never understand the surgery you survived in the dark. You are the billionaire soul that God has spent this entire season preparing. Now, the silence is ending. The world is waiting for your command. Don't go back to the peasant chatter. Don't go back to the hustle of fear. Walk as a monarch. Speak as a ruler. Live as the chosen. I want you to take action right now. 1. Comment, system upgraded, to seal this new frequency in your spirit. Let the universe know that the old you is officially dead. 2. Share this video with one other chosen soul who is still struggling in the not enough virus. Be the catalyst for their rewiring. 3. Subscribe and turn on notifications to stay locked into the frequency of the elite. Thank you for trusting the process. Thank you for being brave enough to stay on the table. The wilderness is behind you. The empire is before you. Go forth and reign. I'll see you at the throne. Amen.